enough women indirectly house rough sleepers. You know that? You know how much man, find themselves in certain situations and they turn up at my girl's yard?
Yeah.
Yo, do you know what? Like, and then come up with some type of story.
But there's still 87% out there. That's what's killing me.
And you know what? Usually the story will be something like, yo, you know what, such and such, I knew I got some money coming in still. I'm going to just, is it all right to come and just, you know what I mean? Man will come down there, fling some on her now, try and just worm his way into the yard. Next minute, he's staying in the house.
Welcome to the S.Banks&JD Network podcast. I'm your host, JD, and I'm joined with my co-host,
S.Banks. And today we're talking about are modern women poor pickers in men? Hell yeah. Anyways.
okay,
They are.
some of them.
See, I
A
don't
lot
wanna
of
do that.
them.
A lot of women are poor pickers in men.
Yeah.
That's true. We have 3 clips for you today. We will give you some additional clips for added context.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, what's your thoughts on women picking poorly in men, then complaining when they're a cat lady or older later on in life and saying, "Oh, the reason why
Mhm.
I failed as a woman because it was the men's fault." What's your thoughts on that?
Well, you have to ask the question, is it the men's fault? A lot of women, it's easy to blame the man
Mm-hmm.
and say, it's all your fault why I such and such or whatever reason they have.
Yeah.
But you need to reevaluate, as in you need to look within and ask yourself,
Mm-hmm.
was it me? Is it just me? Am I poor at picking good guys?
So if you have a body count of 10 men and been in 10 relationships and all of those 10 men left you,
Mhm.
the common denominator is that woman.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. But with that said, that provides you with the context. Let's talk about it. Let's get the conversation started. And with that, let's jump into clip number 1.
Enough women indirectly house rough sleepers. You know that? You know how much man, find themselves in certain situations and they turn up at my girl's yard?
Yeah.
Yo, do you know what? Like, and then come up with some type of story.
But there's still 87% out there. That's what's killing me.
And you know what? Usually the story will be something like, yo, you know what, such and such, I knew I got some money coming in still. I'm going to just, is it all right to come and just, you know what I mean? Man will come down there, fling some on her now, try and just worm his way into the yard. Next minute, he's staying in the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? This is the thing as well, I think that happens more time that way than it does that. There's not much times when a woman turns up to a man's yard and then just stays in the yard. I think there's so much times women can say, you know what, I let him in my yard and we was doing a young thing or whatnot. Next minute, man, staying here now. And I can't get him out. That's a rough sleeper.
I hear it,
That's a rough sleeper, you know. He's acting like it isn't that. He's doing man's rough. I got my thing going on and whatnot. Big man, you're rough sleeping. You're rough sleeping. There's nowhere else to go. And you know what? I guess, though, sometimes that isn't... Well, I know this is going to sound like a mad thing to say, but if you ain't got nothing but you know how to chop, you can find a yard to stay in.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the end of that clip. So what's your thoughts on rough sleepers?
Well, okay.
Do you know any women that have housed rough sleepers, i.e. people... Let me not say that.
Yeah.
Let me not even do it.
Okay. Do
What's
I
your
know
thoughts? What's your thoughts?
any women who have housed rough sleepers? Yes.
Maybe anecdotal experience, maybe yourself, maybe
not myself.
women
no.
in your family, friends. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I'm not gonna dive into who, when, where, whatever.
Ain't to call no names, but
have I done it myself? Hell no. Do I know people that's done that? Hell yes. A few.
Okay.
Um, my opinion on rough sleepers. Well, what is a rough sleeper? My definition is a man who jumps from sofa to sofa or bed to bed.
Yeah.
Basically, who uses women for somewhere to stay. So they're rough sleeping. It's not their house, obviously. So
Okay.
that's how they rough sleep. That's where the definition
Yeah.
comes from. And for me, they may be more, but there's kind of two types of rough sleepers.
Okay.
There's
So,
one,
sounds like you know what you're talking about.
because I've seen it
Okay. Okay.
a lot.
Give us some context. Okay.
So for me, I think the first one, it's not in order, by the way, but I would say one type of man that rough sleep is the men who are trying to get into a country. So trying to get their stay.
Visa.
Visa thing.
Take back
What is
my
it? Red
visa,
card, blue card,
and if she
or
dash him out,
whatever it is.
then it take back my visa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or she's gonna take back your visa,
So it's
whatever.
Visa. Say what you. So
Yeah. Say what
sometimes
they say.
maybe foreign people that come into the country
Yes.
and they want to get their stay, walk out their belly,
And they need somewhere to sleep.
and they have to be able to chop.
Boy. You need to be able to do something.
No,
Anyway.
but some women will say, okay, as long as you chop down the thing,
Okay.
or maybe sometimes they're handsome, like a good-looking woman is overly attracted to them. There's a trade-off.
Basically, you have to have some. You need to offer her something.
But it's not
For
going to
her.
be anything of merit as far as monetizing, as far as he has money kind of thing.
No.
So man them that wanna get their steak
some
kind of thing.
situations that
All right, cool.
in some situations when it's a thing of men getting their stay, some of them can offer the woman money to do that
How's he going to do that?
because they got the money somehow to offer the woman to marry them to get them
So
get their stay.
those guys may dibble and dabble and do their thing and might can pay those women off.
Some of them.
But
I wouldn't say it's
Okay.
a lot, no.
you did
but-
you did say those two.
Yes, so the second
So,
one
yeah.
is a rough sleeper is basically a man who he's just a bum, a big
So-
fat bum. And
So the second rough sleeper is a waste man.
yeah, he's a bum, lazy, can't find a stable job or accommodation or just doesn't want to. And he feels more than happy just going from one sofa to next sofa or
sofa to
one
sofa.
bed to the next bed. Because
Okay.
we know that's where they try to end up to secure the thing. So that's my definitions of it. What is yours?
What about
Or is yours different?
Okay, what about men that have fell on hard times? Maybe they have just come out of prison.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe
it's another
they
one.
have lost their house for whatever reason. There's lots of different scenarios, and because remember, men don't have a safety net, so
No.
some men do fall on hard times, and sometimes say they was in a good space, lost their place, lost their job, whatever, and they've had to lean on their woman, and now their woman has the leverage of the house, and in a sense, he is a rough sleeper.
Yeah.
But I would have thought we were good up until I lost my situation. You know what I mean? So
I would say that that's slightly different. I would say you are rough sleeping at that point in a sense of you've lost your
Are you?
house. You're okay. Say okay. You mentioned maybe come out of prison, or say your house burnt down and you need somewhere to stay, or do you see what I mean? So you're rough sleeping in that moment because you need somewhere to stay. So I've come out of prison, have nowhere.
Say you've lost say you're private renting.
Yeah,
and
you've
you've
lost your
lost your job.
house, or yeah. So I'm saying in that moment, you've lost something to where you don't have a house, so you need somewhere to stay for that period.
Yeah.
But if you're a go-getter type of guy, you're not a bum, it's just your circumstances have changed,
yeah.
then it's slightly different. So you are somewhat rough sleeping, but you know that you're somewhat rough sleeping.
I'm not.
I'm
I
gonna
hear
say,
you.
okay, let me finish it, maybe you
Yeah.
understand. So I'm saying those sort of men, it's a situation that has put them in that space to where they need somewhere to sleep.
But I hear you, right? I hear you, and I think I see where you're going, right? But I do know I have in my past known a couple of guys that have come out of prison or not have fell on hard times. Let me say that, right?
Yeah.
And they've had to stay at their woman's house, so they've had to go back to their mum's house.
Mm-hmm.
So are they rough sleeping on their mum's sofa or
Yeah.
going back to their old room? Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if that woman fell on hard times and she went back to that dude's house, is she rough sleeping?
She would be, yes.
Because it's not a one-sided thing. So I'm just
No.
saying, I know what you're saying as far as there's you have mentioned two rough sleepers, the guy that's the number one guy and the waste man,
Mm-hmm.
right?
The waste man is 100% a rough sleeper.
Mm.
100%. The guy that's getting his stay is a situational situation.
Yeah, because we
where,
have to throw that in there as well.
you know, I'm trying to get something, and so he's not 100%. The waste man is 100% rough sleeper.
Because also, I call no names. You know what I'm talking about, right? You probably know I'm gonna say.
I don't know right now until you start talking. Go on.
Okay. To be honest, I've met a couple of chicks, so I know a couple of chicks
Mm-hmm.
where
Oh,
a
I think I
dude
know where you're going.
has run the same things said in this video.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought when they're telling me the story, yeah, this guy, he's lost his job, and the guy give them some sob story,
Mm-hmm.
yada yada yada. Before you know it, oh, he's on my sofa. Before you know it, he's chopping it down. He's telling you about what money he's got coming in, giving her some story in order to stay. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, really? I don't want to F up the dude's game. It is what it is. Because nothing I could say is going to change that person's mind, even when the obvious is in their face. The observable truth is in that person's face.
Exactly.
And besides, I'm not going to hate on the next dude's game. It is what it is. The person's an adult. They can make their choices.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember them telling me they were saying the same things like in the clip. And then I'm like, so he's rough sleeping. But to be fair, I said it in my head.
Okay.
In my mind, I said it out loud. But it happened in my head. And I thought, really? That's what, well, I did kind of like how the females do. Well, as long as you're happy.
Okay.
I'm being facetious,
I guess
but
so.
it is what it is. But I'm saying more time women will choose certain caliber of men and then complain about those men later on in life.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on some of those things?
Well, you chose that guy.
Mm.
It's your own fault. What do you mean? You can't blame anyone else. You have to take accountability there. It's you.
You're right.
You're the one that chose that man, allowed him to stay at your house, whether it's on the sofa or in your bed or in a little doggy bag at the end of your bed. It doesn't
Doggy
matter.
bag.
I'm just saying.
Tech man for boy.
I'm just saying, no matter where you allowed him to stay, you chose to let that happen.
Let's rewind. Did you get it? If we go back to a time, I remember once upon a time, fathers and brothers used to vet their sisters or their daughters' men.
Yeah.
Because if I have a daughter or my sisters and I'm vetting a man for them, those dudes, I'm not attracted to them. So I've got I got a dog in the fight because you ain't gonna play my sister or my daughter. But at the same time, they're little tricks, so I don't find them attractive. You can't dance with me. So I'm gonna see you for what you are. And men used to help the women in their lives in picking, because women used to say to their moms, what do you think? And mommy might say, well, he's an attractive guy. And she
seems nice.
And she might, he seems nice. Daddy or brother might be like, hell no.
You
Hell
crazy?
No. He didn't even address me by sir, mister. His name got numbers in it.
Easy 40.
So I'm saying he can come with all those tricks and whatever to the women, but when it comes to the men,
Can't play those games.
he can't play that ish, right? And I'm saying since that part of let's say the community went out the window, that's when ish got jacked up.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And it's not just look at, come on, man. Our community, the black community, is matriarch. The women run it. Men are at the house. Since men left the house, then this is what comes in. Pookies and Ray Rays, Brads and Chads, and those men that are no good. If fathers are around, you can't run them ish because that ain't gonna run with my daughter. And then if you have men that's protecting your community, you have levels of defense,
Yeah.
which can help you in offense. I'm just saying, free game. What's your thoughts on some of that before we move to the next clip?
Well, I believe that women who don't have they don't have the option of viable men. They're the ones that kind of allow these men to come in their homes.
You said they don't have the option. Yes, they do. There's
Uh,
many men, they choose poorly.
They do choose poorly.
Because
I'm
makes me
gonna
feel
say,
good. Or
I'm gonna
attracted.
say, when I say viable men, I mean the men they really want. They can't really get those men that they really want. So they just choose the easier option because that's all they can get, kind of thing. Do you get what I mean?
I hear you, but I disagree with that.
They're
you're,
bad apple pickers. Yes.
What about mummies? And they mislead younger women because sometimes you can kind of see what that dude is, but they choose to kind of let daughters
Do their thing.
exactly pregnant, bun in their oven situation, and then they kind of know what it is. I'm just saying. I just want to throw that up in the air. That's my final comment on that. But ladies, what's your thoughts on rough sleepers? Are you housing rough sleepers?
And fellas, are you a rough sleeper?
Put in the comments. Let us know what you guys think.
Exactly.
In that said, let's move to clip number 2.
Bow are my 2 boyfriends, and they're gonna be calling 3 o'clock in the morning. Wayne had the house number. So now, mind you, I have my kid, my husband has his kid. We have kids. And by the way, it's my house that I pay for. I pay all the bills. Everybody's dependent on me. I'm the boss bitch. Like, you don't pay for nothing.
You don't answer no phones around here.
Whatever, I do what the fuck I want. And I remember just waking up my husband like, hey, like, I gotta go, I'm taking the Rover. You gotta move your car.
You couldn't move it to the street and then pull yourself
No,
out.
I'm not doing all this manual labor. And then he would move the car. And then I remember one particular night, I was in my car, I was backing out of the driveway. He moved his car into the street, and then he gave me a kiss goodbye. I'm like, all right, baby, I'll see you in like 2 or 3 days.
Not 2 or 3 days.
Yes, and then I'd be gone for 2 or 3 days, and then I would go home to my husband, and he would have my dinner waiting, my bath water ran.
I want to be like Elizabeth when I grow up. What
and
the
then like
fuck?
a glass of wine, like, welcome home, honey. Did you have fun? Yes, bitch, I had so much fun.
She sounds like she wants a medal of honor.
Award,
Like,
yeah.
What am I supposed to say?
Yes, bitch. I had so much fun. Could I start with just one statement before you start?
Yeah, feel free.
So, basically, her husband is, I don't know if everyone knows this term, but he's a cuck or a cuckold. That's what he is.
Okay.
She married a cuck. And I'll just say the meaning of that for those that don't know.
Tell us.
A cuck or cuckold is a man who lets his wife or girlfriend have sex with another man. He often the man lets her do whatever she wants and treats him like crap, basically.
Okay. I hear you. And that let me push back a little bit. Maybe in their situation, it's a thing of an open relationship. What if they have an open relationship?
Okay.
What's your thoughts on that?
If they have a open relationship, then that's totally different. So then you've had
Explain what makes it different.
you would have had that conversation with each other. This is an open relationship. I'm going to do my thing here and there. You can do your thing here and there. You have that communication with each other.
I hear you. But in my opinion, why have an open relationship? I'm going to speak from the perspective of the dude. Why am I going to be in a relationship with a woman and she's meeting other people? I may as well not be in a relationship with her. You're not
Single.
mine. You can be my exclusive link or whatever you want to call it, but you're not mine.
You ain't going to be no wife.
I'm sharing that woman just like you're
Exactly.
sharing me. So we're not exclusive to each other.
On the woman side of it, it's pretty much the same thing why. I know men and different is very different.
Mm.
Men and women, sorry, it's very different. But I would say for me as a female, and my husband is telling me, yeah, open
Yeah,
relationship.
because
It's like, nah, blood. Like, if that's what you want to do, cool.
But that's
Let's
your-
just
yeah.
leave it as it is. You do your thing, I do my thing, but we're not married anymore.
But
What's
you're-
the point?
but some people are okay with that open relationship
If
thing.
you're okay with it,
and that's fine.
cool.
That's you.
But
But you're saying personally for you,
no,
that's a no.
no point.
I'm saying for me as the dude, as men, you can be okay with that, and I'm not gonna. I'm not mad at you for that.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying there's no point in doing that. Why am I gonna marry a woman and she's with some next dudes? And that's kind of weak in a sense because it's like,
Mhm.
why be with that woman? So basically, I'm afraid to let her go.
Mhm.
So I just gotta, give her my surname. It don't make no sense though.
In
To me.
That's
Put in the comments where you're at with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll just say, in her situation, he's 100% a cuck. I say that because of how she's talking. Or going off of what she said, we haven't heard his side, but I'm saying going off of what she said, he's a cuck because you're allowing your woman to go out and whatever, and how she's talking, as in, it's my house, I pay all the bills, I do what I like. She
Because,
said,
yeah,
I ain't doing no manual labor.
Because she
you
knows.
move the car.
Because she knows. She pays all the bills. He's like a foster child to her,
Mhm.
and if he don't comply to her wishes,
It's out.
her love is conditional, and he's out. He'll be a rough sleeper.
Exactly. He is a rough sleeper, pretty much. He's pretty much a rough sleeper.
So it makes sense, right? And to provide some context, her name is Karen Stephens, I believe, right? AKA Superhead. Now, I know a lot of men listening to this, they want to know what that Superhead's about.
Miss
I think-
Superhead.
What did she used to do? Let's just say she was I'm not going to necessarily say video vixen, but she was that girl in the 90s, maybe a little model, because they're all some type of model or video vixen or whatever, right? So she's an older woman, although she doesn't look it. She looks good for her age.
She does, I give her that.
Now, for me, like, she eventually settled down, married someone, but she didn't get the dude that she wanted. Hence why
Exactly.
she married someone, the simp that she could control, where she gets masculine energy from. And then she go for the dudes
Somewhat.
or links the men that she really wants, which is Wayne and which is Bow Wow. And that's on her. There's a clip that we will play, and this is with she was talking about Laurie. She was talking about. Let's play the clip,
Okay.
and then we will let you know. Then you'll see where we come over that and come
And
back.
also, y'all men just drive me nuts.
Not all of us.
All of y'all drive me crazy.
All right.
So, but before I get into all of that,
Okay.
back to Lori Harvey.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to get on a tangent right now. Lori Harvey, I would say, like, if Lori Harvey was a friend in my head, if she was my friend, and she is a friend in my head, right? And I were to give Lori Harvey some advice, first of all, I have no advice for her. I have zero advice for Lori Harvey.
Really?
Yes, I think Lori Harvey is probably the first person that I've talked about on the show that I have no advice for.
Okay.
Because I feel like Lori Harvey did everything right. Lori Harvey kissed a bunch of frogs. And it's not her fault that none of them were good enough. That's their fault.
Wow. Okay.
If you were a big enough man in more ways than one, you might have been able to keep her. But you weren't good enough. You weren't big enough. You weren't man enough. You weren't something enough for her based on her standards, most likely.
Wow.
And she moved on. And we can't stigmatize women moving on. Y'all want us to settle for less so bad. But when a woman doesn't settle for less and she knows when to zip and zap and dip and dive, you're like, oh, she's a slut because you're not good enough for her. Now she belongs to the streets. And it's always the men with 17 kids talking about you belong to the streets. Bro, you are the streets. You are the dirty, nasty, rat infested. You're a rat carrying a pizza on a subway in New York, nigga. You are the streets. But because you're not enough for her, and then she ends up with Michael B. Jordan.
This is a good one.
Who is a beautiful man inside and out, I'm sure. And obviously he can hold her attention. This is what I always say.
It's not the first. Remember when Ray J was like, I hit it first. Like,
Yeah.
it ain't cute to be the first. That's not the cute one.
Mhm.
It's the last. Who's good enough to be the last?
Mm.
The first is easy. I'm experimenting, bro. Of course you were the first. I don't know what I'm doing. You don't know. It's fine. But if I'm an experienced woman who has done my sexual due diligence, who has dated and kissed all the frogs, and then you are the prince and you get to be the last one, you're the one who lets me see that I don't want any of that, and I'm going to stay right here. Like, you're it. It's not who's first, it's who's last.
Mm.
So I don't care how many frogs she had to kiss to get to her prince or her king. It's who is best who keeps my attention. So I don't have to dump you and move on to somebody else.
Wow.
I just think misery needs company.
It does.
And you have women that's in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. And this is my note I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think younger women understand that you're in competition with each other.
With the older women.
Older
yes.
women, you're all women.
Mhm.
But I don't think you realize, you think, oh, your moms, your aunties, that woman down the road that, used to school you, you think that they always have your best interests at heart. And they don't,
No.
because you're in a competition.
Mhm.
You got women like Lala Anthony, Keisha Cole, Kim Kardashian, Erykah Badu, all with younger men.
Mhm.
And some of these women are old enough to be these dudes' mothers.
Mhm.
Women do that because they want to be in a position of control. And when women go for younger men, it's all good. When men do it, oh, you're this and you're that.
You're
all
a
the
P
shaming.
word. Mhm.
Yeah, all the shaming language, right? But then it's okay when a woman does it. So then if those women that are older are dating the same men that are the same age as those women in their 20s and early 30s, and I want to, early 30s, right?
Mhm.
If those women are that age and they're dating those kind of men, that's obvious you're in direct competition with those men because they're still in the same dating pool as you.
Yeah.
But a lot of women are naive and they don't realize, hey,
Mhm.
I'm in competition with that woman I thought had my best interest. Hence why misery needs company. They mislead the younger women so you can make poor choices and it helps them to win the race.
Mhm.
What's your thoughts on that?
Very true. Definitely in competition. 100%. 100%. Well, she talks about Lori Harvey, for example, and she says that basically she
has no advice.
She
for
has
her.
no advice for her.
Kiss as
and
much frogs as you can.
Lori Harvey has done everything correct. She can't say that she did anything wrong.
Yeah.
100% fine.
Yeah.
Kissing a few frogs. Well, that's kind of an understatement, isn't it?
Yeah.
She.
If only it was a simple kiss. But we know
It was
kissing,
more than
you
that.
kissing something. Jumping, riding, you doing something, right? Facts, right? So what in turn this older woman that knows better is saying to younger women is kiss as much frogs as you can. Translation,
to get your prince.
carousel wheel, do your thing, end up in a situation where I'm married and the dudes that I really want don't want me, but they will use me as a call girl for bedroom fun, and I'll come back home and my husband will have my bath running, yada yada yada. And it's funny how she sells you that dream.
I know.
That to say it's all cushy. That's the way to be. BS.
She sold it to some women, but let's be honest, deep down, it's like, man, I wish I could be with Lil Wayne or Bow Wow. Like, what woman really wants a simp or a cuck or whatever you want to call?
There's a small minority of women that may want those kind of men, but most women don't.
You don't want them. You only want it as in control wise, but you do not want those men.
You don't qualify for those kind of men because those men are very dismissal, and you slip up one false move, cut, she's on foot patrol. Facts. People put in the comments, what do you think? Are the older women misleading you, misguiding you, telling you the wrong things in order to get the edge up, the leg up
Yep.
in the dating market. They're getting the leg over because they're on the CC wheel. And they're telling you to kiss how many frogs. They should be telling you, while you're in your youth, you know your youth, your fertility. Hey, when that goes, it goes. It's harder as you get older. But they're not telling you that. They're saying, look at me. And don't get me wrong, she looks good for her age.
She does.
But how many men are taking her seriously?
0.
Her name's Superhead. And I know many of you want to know what that Superhead can do. I do too. Anyways, listen, with that being said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yep.
Put in the comments what you guys think. And we're going to move to clip number 3.
Oh, hi.
What
Hi.
are you reading?
Yeah, I was actually reading. I ship out in a few days, so I was just reading The Art of Strategy.
Okay.
The military?
Yeah, so actually I'm a nuclear physicist for the Navy.
No.
So I do that in a few days.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
How old are you?
I am 27. I look a little young. I'm not that young.
Yeah, you look young.
So where do you live?
So I'm actually in the Woodlands, Texas right now. Right down there by Houston. I'm about 30 minutes away from Houston. So I'm a little close.
Oh, nice. Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
Man, where do I start? I like martial arts a lot. I did a bit of pharmacy back when I was a little bit younger, about 2-3 years ago. I got certified at pharmacy around when I was 17. I didn't really do anything with it. I went to university for a while. I was getting like a business degree. So I have a bachelor's in business. And then I did pharmacy for a little while, for about 3 years, and then got bored. So I was like, let's go see what the military has to offer. Didn't do anything. I did my PICAT about a year ago. Got a 96 on that. It goes up to a 99, got a 96. They offered me nuclear physics, and I was like, why the fuck not? So I went there, and now I ship out in a few days.
Oh, okay, nice. Well, best of luck as you ship out pineapples.
Yeah. Why?
Because he literally didn't tell me any qualities about himself. He's just like, I made a 96 on this. I did this. And I feel like I did that at first too. But however, I need a man with some personality.
You felt that quick? You know you didn't have personality?
Yes, I'm really good at reading people.
Okay.
Okay. What's your thoughts?
Where do I start? First of all, she didn't give him a chance to even talk. She didn't ask him questions, like more personal questions about what he likes to do for fun or what does he do in his spare time. So how would you really know how he is as a person or what qualities he brings? He clearly brings a lot to the table, as in the amount of money he is about to make with doing the certain jobs that he's getting into. Can't remember the name of it right now, but he's about to get paid. Do you see what I mean? So, but for me, she didn't give him a chance. And then she said herself, when she started talking, she didn't really say anything about herself like that. But she realized she didn't, and then maybe changed up what she said. But you didn't give him a chance to say whatever he wanted to say.
Okay.
So
a lot of women say they want a high value man. This is something Kevin Samuels spoke about. He didn't invent the term, but a lot of women want the lifestyle of a high value man, a dude earning 6 figures a year. Men make the most money. Men that are in STEM, which is science, technology, you know the rest. And those people make the most money. And he was in that field. But let's bring it a little bit to a home conversation. Many black women, they will say men like him are boring. He's boring.
he's a Nerd.
He's a nerd.
Mhm.
He's not the kind of dude I want. Yada, yada, yada. Because they want the so-called bad boy. Pookie and Ray Ray.
Mhm.
Sometimes Brad and Chad. But then when they make poor choices
Mhm.
and then life goes on, they're struggling, they go, oh, now she wants to cash out. And then when that guy is in a good position, makes his money, does his thing, they usually want the Russell Wilson
Mhm.
to come and save them with their multiple kids. Pookie and Ray Ray didn't take you seriously,
No.
but then you want this dude to come and take you where you at, even though he tried with you,
Mhm.
didn't work, and now he's supposed to take you seriously. Now we previously spoke about we done a video with Dr. Umar, and he was speaking on black women and how they usually want the man ready made, where Becky, she looks at the dude early on in.
Yep.
She looks at his character,
Yep.
his quality,
Mhm.
yada yada yada, and she goes, "Hey, I'm gonna get my claws in him and ensure that I have the greatest outcome." We will play that video for you, and we'll come back.
Let me tell you what separates white women from the black women. Let me tell you one thing that separates white women from black women. Observation. Black women want their men to have it all before she commits. The white woman only needs to see the potential and the commitment. I'm going to say it again. The black woman tends to want her man to have it all before she commits. The white woman don't need her man to have it all. She just needs to see his potential. And the white woman will back him and support him and ride with him and help develop him until he gets it all. See, one of the things black women got to stop doing, not all of you, some of you. Not all of you, some of you. When you see a man who ain't got it, but he got the potential and he committed to getting it, commit at that time and ride with him. If you got to sign a contract to say that you guys are co-creators of every idea he comes up with, then make him sign a contract if you're afraid he's going to leave you once he makes it big. But the white woman will get with a broke-ass black man with potential. The white woman will get with a broke-ass black man with potential. The white woman will see the potential in the black man at 21 years old, and she will ride with him until he fulfills his dream and wife him up. Black woman, y'all say you got to have it all. The house, the car, the degrees, the job, the business, the education, and y'all going to keep on losing if you keep expecting black men to get all this and then hand it over to you on the silver platter. It's not realistic. It's too hard out here. It's not realistic. Black woman, the next time you see a man with potential who's serious about earning his goals, next time you come across a man with potential who is dedicated to making it, but he ain't got all the money, he ain't got the car, but you can clearly see he got a serious plan, and if he make it, we gonna be nice. You better think about walking with him. You got to get out of this housewives mentality. Too many black women have this housewives mentality. Too many black women got this housewives mentality, this super materialistic, perfect vision of what he got to come to the table with. You're not gonna get no man like that. Find a brother with potential until it pay off. Stop trying to get ready-made husbands. Stop trying to get ready-made perfect scenarios. Ride with the good one. Because guess what? A lot of these black men that these white women got, A lot of these black men that these white women got, they got them when you were not paying attention to them. See, he was with the white girl before he got his law license. He was with the white girl before he got his medical license. He was with the white girl before he made $100 million in real estate. He was with the white girl before he opened that Fortune 500 company. She was with him when he was struggling, but she saw the potential. Black women have to stop this thing that says you got to have it all. You got to show up on my doorstep with all boxes checked. Stop it, black woman. You're selling yourself short. Stop it.
That's why Becky's gonna win, or other culture women win, because they look at the qualities
Yeah.
in a man. See, he's ambitious. He's not a bum. He's not a rough sleeper.
Yep.
And he's got good qualities in being a dad, a pillar of society, good role model. But then our sisters will be like, nah, he ain't good enough. He's got to be ready made. And they think, oh, when he's leveled himself up, oh, I want to be on his arm.
And they love turmoil.
Yes, a lot of women love turmoil, but I'm saying, why would a dude that after he leveled himself up, you never took me seriously? Now that I'm here, I'm in a good space. Now I'm supposed to say, yeah, what do you bring to the table? Degrees, debt, and a fat rump. Okay.
A lot of men who have P's it opens them up to having 1,000,001 options. Now, the question a lot of women need to actually ask themselves is, do you qualify to fill that space? Do you qualify to get that job? Do you qualify?
Yeah, but you ask them, what do you bring to the table? A lot of them say, I am the table. Or they say some stupid ish, right? That don't even make no sense. And I'm just saying, sometimes you look at dudes that have done well for themselves, and you look at their wives, and their wives are average women. Men are willing to go down in looks to go up in quality or character of the woman.
Yeah.
A billionaire can date a waitress as long as she ticks the right box, as long as she's in shape, she's feminine, submissive, and submissive is slavery, but she don't see it that way. She's a good woman. He can say, I'm going to attach my bandwagon to this woman, and hey, it's all good. But then you pass up opportunities. How many women are married? Each baby father is a marriage. So you got married a couple of times. If you got multiple kids, how many opportunities of men have you passed up on? And you messed up those opportunities, and then you want to turn around and say, oh, the common denominator is the man, when in reality it's you.
Yes, and I'll say also, a lot of women, they're like, oh, I'm waiting to meet my my soulmate. I'm waiting to meet the perfect man and whatever else you want to say, right? But they keep forgetting that you have met that person.
Yeah.
How many? They're in your face. But where do you put them? In a friend zone. You don't
he has to be
mess with them. Oh, you're too nerdy, you're too boring. And it's like, he's right in your face. Your husband has been around you for the last 10 years, but you didn't realize.
He's a bit of an orbiter. And they think as they get older, the grass gets greener. But the funny thing is, even with this clip, the last clip, you had a lot of people in the comment section. Some people gave pushback and said, oh, she was right to do it. He didn't have no character. A lot of people was like, yo, sis, come on. Come on now. I will tag that so you guys can see that and provide your context as well, and let us know your thoughts on it. But that's all I pretty much have to say on that. I don't know if you wouldn't add anything more.
I would just say women just need to make better choices than men. Stop picking poorly. You know you're picking poorly. Just stop it. Like, if you're gonna pick poorly, at least just don't complain. Or don't complain to other people. No one wants to hear it.
You're right.
No one wants to hear it. Just,
They believe later on in life, they can go, I select you. Come with me.
That's not how it
works. Let's build. Let's run off into the sunset. Run through the daisy fields with the leprechauns, the rainbow, even though it wasn't raining.
And the unicorns.
That whole fairy tale Disney ending. With their multiple kids.
Doesn't exist.
Overweight. Dusty. I'm just saying. Put in the comments, guys, what do you think? What do you guys think? We got the conversation started. Do you have anything before we close out?
No, I think we're done here. I would just say thank you for tuning in today. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Thanks to those who have subscribed already. Yeah.
All right. And that said, peace. See you in the next one. We out.